the meeting. Okay, let's start warming up in the tabletop. In your tabletop, just give me a few circles around your wrists. Mostly just to feel if you feel any discomfort in any part of your wrist, we change direction. I said that also a lot during the teacher training. I don't really feel like I warm up my wrists anymore because now the alignment of my handstand is in such a good place that I don't feel there's pressure on my wrists anymore. So maybe you also feel that the more you practice. Come onto the heel of the hand, lean from side to side to open the palm. And then heel of the hand together, shimmy from right to left. And then we look for the right and left butt. Keep the wrists the same. And then we'll take both hands facing with the fingers towards the body. We bend the elbows to lift the heel of the hand and go back to straight. If it's too much, you can bring the weight more forward. If you want more, you can bring the weight more back. And then we just come up to a seated position, put the right hand in front of the left overhead, pulse your arms back 5 times. Keeping the shoulders closed, but trying to open the chest. Then we switch left palm in front of the right. Use both palms to create movement in your shoulder. And then come back into tabletop. Push your legs back, straighten them out, and walk them so close that your hips are directly on top of the middle of your foot. And we'll rock forward and back 3 times. Gentle weight in the hands and all the way back, leaving the head and neck nice and long. And get the feet a little wider, then hip width apart, left hand to the middle, and we go twisting from right to left. Think of pushing the floor, reaching the shoulders in one line. Especially at the top, see if you can elongate more to the sky from the palm of the floor. Last one each side. And then just hang in a forward fold, cross opposite elbows, and draw a lying eight on the ground. And we'll change the direction of the infinity sign. And come all the way into a squat. We'll take the right hand on the inside, left hand behind the head. We'll move between elbow to opening, using the opening of the elbow to open the rib cage on the side. And we switch. Left hand down, right arm above the head. Use your breath. And both hands interlace behind the head. Draw the elbows to the belly button. As you open the elbows, also come onto your toes, like really spread out. Exhale, let go and round. 2 more. Inhale to lift, find the midline of the body. Exhale to collapse. 1 more time. And then straighten both legs. Go into another forward fold, shake out the legs. Place the hands in a comfortable position under your shoulders, left foot to the inside, and try to kick the right leg 3 times up, feeling the back of the hamstring and the glute, but not the opening of the hip. And then we do the same thing to the side in like a half straddle, just 3 times. And then we switch. Left leg kicks up For 3, 2, 1. Now go to the sides. 3, 2, and 1. Walk it all the way back into plank position. Get the legs all the way together. Draw the collarbones open. And go for your shoulder shrugs, letting the chest sink down. Push into the middle of your palm to elevate, keeping the scapula wrapped down the back. And find a neutral plank. We roll open into a side plank. You can just stay here, or you can also do your scapular push-ups up and down. Maybe just 3 on each side. Make sure the shoulder is directly on top of the palm. So you can use the lats to engage, not the chest muscle. Back to neutral, bring the hands down. Come onto your fingertips, but bring the thumbs close to one another as you rock one armpit at a time towards the ground. Still drawing the navel in to keep a nice long lower spine. And then either with the hands close or in your shoulder width, but we'll try to reach our head facing towards the fingertips and down to the ground. Think of scooping your head long to just look out of your eyes to the fingertips. One more. Nice. Then we'll do this one seated. Any comfortable position. We will interlace the hands behind the head. The elbows are closed. Now, we will think of drawing the elbows up towards the ceiling or the sky and bringing it back down. Lift up and back. So the hand will release from the back of the head. Last one. Now the right elbow stays lifted. You hold the elbow with the left. You can just diagonally pull, but also keep the extension to the ceiling up. And then we switch up and over. We do one more weird stretch for the shoulders, but I really like it. Right hand up. Let's take both hands up and flip. Now the right arm stays straight, and I'm going to bend my left elbow so the stretch goes into my right arm and wrist. See that your neck is nice and loose. And then extend both arms. We do the same with the right elbow bends to whatever degree you feel the stretch. And then release. Like that. We'll go to an exercise for the core. First, a little bit more gentle. I want you to lay all the way down with the arms overhead. And if we're thinking of grounding the ribs down, we will hover from the hands touching just enough that the ribs go down. And we feel that nice rib integration, pulling down, but keeping the shoulders fairly back. And it always looks funny with my elbows. Now, same on the way, or for the lower body, you can do whatever you want with your hands, but we're pulling the legs slightly into our navel, so the feet just hover. It's not a big position, but the ribs stay back, the legs hover. Try to not actively lift your legs and bend at the hips. Try to just use the deep core to go back. It's more like if you exhale into your ribs and into your hips, you're already there. Very nice. Okay. Let's take a little bit momentum to come all the way up into an easy straddle. We'll take the hands behind the heads, and I want you, as you go forward, to really keep the elbows wide. The elbows wide instead of closing helps us to open the front and keep the squeeze in the back. So we'll lean forward just 5 times, especially on the lowest part. Try not to collapse with the elbows. It also helps to imagine to slightly push the head back into the hands to keep the elbows squeezed open. Use your breath as you lean forward and pause, come up. Last one. Okay, now keep the elbows here. We go with the right elbow towards the right shin. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Back to center, other side. Left elbow towards the left shin. Keep pointing the right elbow up. 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. Let go of the arms. Went to the knees for one moment. Now we go a little deeper into our core. You're gonna bend the legs and keep the arms next, and one leg at a time. We go for straightening the leg. It helps to also keep the knees together, and we want to avoid rounding. So even if you can't extend the legs fully, I want you to keep a proud chest. 3, 2, and 1. Stretch into your pike forward fold. Maybe it helps to move the flesh a little bit out of the way so you can bend easier forward. And then we will do an exercise that you can actually all do without the wall because you don't need the wall. But we'll do one preparation exercise to feel the back activation of the body. Okay, so for our bridge, you all know how to do a bridge. We're trying to not push the hips too high and the knees actually all the way together. And then we find a straight leg. Same on the other side. Knees stay together. Find the whole back line of the body from the back of the legs to the back of the ribs to the shoulders. Just once on each side. See how you can use the back body to support the front. A little bit more glute squeeze from everyone, I think. The hip is a little lower than your chest. Yeah, that looks perfect. Okay, in handstands, it will feel a little easier, but we want to find our straight handstand, gluing the knees together and dropping one heel at a time. If this is too easy, you can do both legs at the same time. If you would want to have the wall behind, you can tap the toe on the wall, but I don't think you need it. Because the heel drops to the back, we really have to use the front to block any kind of motion that would make us fall back. Find your balance, find your inner thighs connecting, the knees connecting. Yes. Very nicely. Another way to make this a little stronger for the strong handstand people tonight, you could also keep the knees together and do like a little circle or also full circle behind with the knees pointing up and see if you can also go to the side without twisting the shoulders. Only if you want. The first version is also totally fine. but then we have to block a bit more the side rotation. Super nice, Nadine. If you see me looking to the side, I have like two more people practicing next to me, and I also want to see a bit what they are doing. So not that I'm not watching you. Nice. Take another minute to also just warm up your straight handstand if you feel like you need just a straight handstand. That is a good thing to do before we move on. Nice. Super schön, Lauf. I like the circles. Yeah, nice. Okay, to prep the next exercise, it's actually not so hard on the ground. I find it a bit harder in handstands. Let's see, I'm gonna lay down on the belly. You get the legs all the way together, and the knees stay together, but the heels go out. For me, this is very hard because my internal rotation sucks and my external rotation is not so good. You could also add a band around the heels to make it even harder. What you want to avoid is as you lift the knees out to the side that you're arching your back. So use the reference of the floor, belly button lifts, but hip bone in the front, because that actually happens a lot when we go in this position that the hip lifts off. We want to keep that hip open and the knees going together. Hip down, belly button off. Yeah, nice. If you have good internal rotation, you might not feel so much here. Okay, and handstands, it does work the same. You find your straight handstand and then knees together, heels out. And we go just a few times, knees together, heels out, but maintaining our hip very nice and open in the front. Also, Laura, this one is really nice to do as a shift, as a one-arm shift. It will make sense in the moment. We'll combine it to a little flow, but I want you to try each individual pose first before we go there. Nice. Yeah. So we want to really get the knees together and imagine you have that band around your ankles to bring the feet wide. If they can reach a little further than your hip, it actually looks a lot cooler. So try not to do it just very quickly and fast. Try to over exaggerate a bit that feel out thing. It will look much prettier in a moment. Nice. Bitte schön, Josie. Yeah, nice. I don't know, somehow the internal rotation also elongates the lumbar spine. So it also helps with like arching if you have problems to arch in your handstand a lot. It's a quite nice exercise to do. Yeah, Sophie. Yeah, nice. And the handstand first, and then squeeze your knees. Yes, that's it. Perfect. Nice. Sylvie, you want to show the flow? She already knows where we're going. Um, we want, and all of you know how to do a diamond, that's why we can also skip the step. So the flow goes from this internal rotation, then we connect the toes in a diamond into a straddle, we go back up. And then you can also do it the other way. And in the beginning, I always had to do these things like very, very slow till you figure out what to look out for, and then you can do it faster. Basically, knees together, toes together, and then you straddle. It looks really nice if you have perfect balance, internal and external rotation in your legs. I don't, so the internal rotation looks a bit funny, but only the external looks good. But try it both ways, even though it confuses you a bit in your brain, but one might feel a lot more intuitive. So just try both directions. Nice, Nadine. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It does help what I said earlier when we bring the knees together and the heels out to really think above your hips. Often, when we bring the knees together and the hips out, the hip closes and we stay in the belly side. And then when we open to diamond, it gets really heavy. So, what we did in the beginning with the heel drop, that also was more in the back, try to do that in the first part as well. Just one more go. Yeah. A weird duck position. Yes, that was perfect, Nadine. Nice. Nice. Okay, let's do a little drill before we do another round of handstands. In your forward fold, or show it from the front. We'll come on our tippy toes, so it's just helping to pull the ribs a little higher and have a little bit more engagement. Then we bring one leg up and try to bounce it up 3 times. Come onto our other toe and bounce it up 3 times. What I want you to feel most is that this rib cage is drawing back without your shoulders crunching up too much. So we still sink into the shoulders, and we'll try at the top. Just feel the rib going up. So try to feel it more in your core than your leg and shoulders. Yeah, try to twist a little less, even if that means you can't go so high. With that integration that you feel here, if we use that in a more dynamic jump in, it is helping you not to end up in an arch position and pull with your legs. So yes, the legs need to go up, but you want to have the connection to the core before you're even up with the legs, if that makes sense. So we'll play, not pray. We'll play with actually jumping into our straddle from a standing position. So I want you to pick a spot however far you feel like you can reach that point. We start standing as we reach down. We'll try, sorry, that was too fast. We'll try to find our straddle position. And depending on your flexibility, I would say your normal distance that you would jump into your straddle is good, and maybe you need a few tries. And you can also finish it all the way to straddle. If you have enough space, you can walk around the room, pick a spot, decide to jump in your straddle. If you don't have enough space, just pick one spot. Drive the heels a little higher, drive them really high, and use your core. Yes. Yeah. There's still like kind of three steps. You stand up, and then as you decide to jump, you also have that extra second of placing the hands down, then jumping. But as you're jumping, feel the connection to the core at all times. But when you decide to jump, you have to do the full motion. Otherwise, you're kind of having this breaking moment in the air. Yes, that was nice, Sophia. Do it all the way. You got it. Yeah, nice, Sylvie. Really nice. It feels better to continue the movement, even though your brain maybe disagrees with that. Nice. That looks much better.
Is it normal to feel it way more hard to coordinate, right? Than when we do the
Yeah,
straddle from
yeah,
the
yeah.
technique?
Especially because you're not used to it. And usually we have, now you add an extra step. Your hands are not down on the ground, so you add that extra step. It is a bit harder to coordinate. It's like if
Okay,
you would, start running and suddenly decide to kick up in a handstand.
okay.
Yeah, nice. Really nice. Yeah, that was good. Okay. You can continue also jumping in this way. I just want to prepare the next exercise in your nice straddle, and I want you to just play with letting the hips wiggle a bit from side to side. You should feel a mini weight shift, but my shoulders stay in the same place. I'm not trying to get out of my shoulder and hip line. So hips move independent from my shoulders. And it also helps me to really think I'm kind of jiggling my hips in the air, but keeping the shoulders in the same spot. You could try to also do it on the ground. Just move the hips and feel the rest of the body in one place first before you try it in handstands. So the lower part, which is upside down, our hands, shoulders, and maybe all the way to the belly button, is quite integrated and in one position. And then the upper body part, which is above the navel, hip, and legs, can be quite loose, just going from side to side. Really nice. I just want you to feel and observe when you feel that the weight shifted over a bit and when you felt that you can use a bit of momentum for the lightness in the other hand. We'll use it in a second. One more time. If you have one more in you. Very nice. So we can do different things with that next exercise. We can try to do something that I call uneven handstand. You could have a block or two books, whatever you have, to just find an uneven straddle. And easier is that you feel the same shift going towards the left side. Harder is that you can climb the ladder and see if you can use the going of the hip to go onto the higher side. it really helps to find a different activation in the shoulder, and even just balancing on that uneven surface will help you a lot to understand how the weight shifts. You could also do this belly or back to the wall, especially if you don't have a spotter. Ihr könnt auch gerne meinen Block nehmen. You can use my block. Just give it a try. Even when you jump in, you can also bend the elbow a bit. That's on the higher surface, so on the block. Yeah, that's it, Nadine. Yeah. Takes a few tries to find the moment. Remember to bring the heels a little higher to go from the top onto the block. It's not an easy exercise to jump onto that uneven surface. Yeah, nice, Sylvie. Nice wrap in the shoulder. It's a combination of the exercise before. We do need to let the hip fall over to be able, especially if we go up, to push up onto the block. If we don't initiate the hip movement that you did in the exercise before, it feels really hard and you're blocking the motion for your shoulder a lot. But only if you want to do the shift, this is important. Yeah, try it also on both sides. Yeah. Yeah, feel free to use the wall support. If you've never tried it, like use the support of the wall to just get into it, and then you can go away again. Nice, Josie. Yeah, jump-ins are getting much better. Sophia, you can like see that when the others jump, they take the heels a lot higher. Right now, when you jump, your heels stay slightly underneath your hips, and it's just too hard for your shoulders. So let the heels come a bit higher and see if that's easier for you to get on. And have the wall behind in case you need a spot. Heels very high. Yeah, much better, even higher. That was just the height of your hip. Better. Can, yeah, I find with this one, it's hard if we don't bring the heels high enough, then we're stuck in this weird press on an uneven surface, and it's just really hard to get in. Even if you don't go for the shift, this is a really nice preparation exercise for side bends, but also for one arm strength. We need to kind of create a lot of stability around the shoulder. This one is targeting that shoulder engagement. Yeah, nice. It's a fine line between having too much momentum and too little to get onto that uneven surface. Yeah, long, big jump. Think of a big arc movement when you jump on. Yeah, nice. Yes, that's it, Nadine. Nice. Perfect. Nice. Okay, especially if you do this exercise, I know some of you don't have a full wall where you can straddle, but if you do that exercise belly to wall, and just the toes are touching, it is perfect strength building for your shoulder and understanding how, especially when we go onto the higher surface, how to use the hip going over and the shoulder wrapping in and under. So if you have a big enough wall, that's a really good conditioning exercise to try. But I don't have one here that's not hurting my feet. I'm not gonna show you right now. You can remove the block if you like. We'll try to play with the same principle and a diamond. So you connect the toes, and we're just gonna isolate the hip going from right to left. If this feels too much, just do a round of diamond, maybe opening diamond to straddle a few times. Um, but what you did in the straddle, isolating the hip from right to left, is the same here. Now you just have a less long leverage. That might feel easier for some people. Yeah, nice jump, Sophia. That was really nice. Pull it into your navel. You got it. Pull it into the belly button. Yes, nice. That's it. You got it. Less shoulders, Sylvie, just the hips. Keep the shoulders locked and let the hips wiggle. Kind of when you do this rocking on the hips and Thai massage, think of that. The shoulders really stay, but you can wiggle the hips from side to side. Just do it to yourself. Thai massage and handstand. Let's go. Yeah, nice, Nadine. Really good. Really nice. Yeah, that's it, Sylvie. Much better. Yay. Okay. Yeah, Sophia. Stay away from the wall. I think just knowing that the wall is there, you use it. I think you you don't actually need it in the shape. But it's hard if it's there, and if you're somewhat close to it, you'll always touch it.
But especially with the shapes, I'm super unstable.
Mm-hmm.
And when we transition from one to the other, that's super hard for me to stay like with the weight in the right position of my hands.
Hmm.
Even moving from like we were doing before from this, it was
Yeah,
fine. And then when I move from here, I cannot
I
stay
would
in
try.
place with the rest of the body, and I always fall. Super hard to stay.
I would try with the diamond now, be a little more open and higher, and do the straddle also higher, because now when you pull the diamond lower, your shoulders are slightly closed, and then when you open, you have like it's too much movement from the shoulder. So bring it a little higher, find your balance here, and open very gently, and bring it back. Like a
Okay.
more relaxed diamond than a really hard
Mhm.
compressed diamond. Let's try that and see if that helps. For the others, already working on wiggling the hips, we can combine right there using the diamond to really go for as much side bend as you feel good. So the shoulders stay in place, the hip rotates around the shoulders, and you try to relax the side between the rib and hip. Or you add what we did last week, the diamond opens into a straddle side bend if that's more intuitive for you. Connect in the middle with the side bend and use the weight of the legs to go into the side bend. You should feel that weight shift as you go into the side bend happening in your hands. See if it still stays on the inside of your hand, not so much on the outer edge of your hand. Yeah, that looks a better starting position, Sophia. I actually liked where the diamond was. Yeah, nice. Especially in transitions, move slow first. Do it very nice and slow before you throw yourself out of it. More focus on the shoulders, less on the legs. If the shoulders are in a stable place, your legs can move a lot deeper. Really nice alignment, Nadine. Yeah, Sophia. Now stay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Perfect. That was perfect. I like it. Higher with the legs looks a lot better for the alignment. Even if it's just one transition, that's a good start. Just relax the right side a little more, Nadine. Like breathe into your side body as you let the legs drop. On the left, that looks much better. Relax, relax. Yeah, nice. Yeah, keep the toes on top. I think your toes are too much on the back, Sylvie, and your thighs have too much tension. So like the legs look from my perspective here. So see if you can relax the thighs a bit more and let the toes sit more in one line with your spine. It will help you for the side bends because if there's too much tension in the thighs, the side bend can't happen. I had to learn so much about relaxation in handstands, and I still do. Yeah, schön, Josie. Nice. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, really nice on the right side now, Nadine. Yeah, nice. You got it. Hmm. Have a little break. Um, let's see if I can just use this one. We'll take a little stretch at the wall. And the shoulders want to be open, but not so open that you're arching and your chest is going down. You straighten one leg to the back, and as you draw one knee in, I want you to also think of drawing the knee into the ribs, so you feel the elevation from the back ribs. And we'll just do three on each side, keeping the shoulders in the open position and really hugging the knee into the hip and feeling how it lengthens your lower spine. Straight, and then after the knee can't bend in anymore, get the knee into the hip. Maybe I show it closer. The knee kind of hikes into the hip, and that helps to elongate the lower back. Hmm. Make sure the hips are not twisting. Nice. Now, as a preparation for the next one, and You're welcome to stop at any point. So we're in a straight position. We'll bring one knee in, trying to use the same activation that we did, bringing the second knee in and take the head out. We're looking all the way up, or also doing that transition with looking up. Whee! Especially if you never try to bring the head in, the stack position is quite nice because it still gives us the leverage in the front and back. You can also have the wall in your back heel. Um, Move slow. Try not to just pull the head in and freak out. It will never help you to find the balance, unfortunately. So it helps to really exhale if you bring the head in. Let's just stick with the transition going from one or a single leg stack to full tuck and trying to compress your tuck. Yeah, nice. As you move away from the wall, Sophia, try to get your shoulders a little bit away from the wall first before you move the knees. That might help you to find easier balance. Do you need to see it or does it make sense? See it?
Yes, can you show it once
Yeah.
again?
Let's see. Gonna feel the wall. Um, so you kick up. You're doing everything with the legs nice, but your shoulders are a little bit too much here. So I want you to move the shoulders away, and that allows your hips to stay more back because now the shoulders are front, and then if you take the legs, you just roll back down. So shoulders and chest under, one leg at a time. And then the hips can stay more back and you can stay in balance. Here, I immediately fall. And that is also important for bringing the head in, that we want to keep the shoulders in an open place. Very tempting to close because we're trying to bring the head in and pulling the legs. Yeah, much better. That's much better, Sophia. Yeah. Yes, nice. Much better. I know if anyone else also has questions to this. Yeah, nice, Nadine. Yes, Sophie, Sylvie, nice. Sophia, super nice. Yeah, now you got it, Sophia. Nice balance. Yay, perfect correction. We'll do something a little easier. That's a little more flowy again after this, but do your last tuck or tuck transition to stack or have a sip of water. So The next one, I'll try to do it facing you. It will start in a straddle. Then, well, if we take the right leg in front of the left to kind of come back to straight, I call it thread the needle. So we take the foot in front to go on the outside, and then at the top we'll be back in straight. You can also do it the other way. So as I'm bending the foot in front of the knee, I'm also drawing the other leg in. Try it on both sides, first laying on the back. Yes, nice. I also show you a few different options to work on it. So, first step would be finding your straddle. Then the right foot goes in front of the left, and you kind of go on the outside of the leg. Then you could also bend and go the other direction. Then it kind of continuously moves from right to left. If this feels too hard, just go from straddle and try to hook your legs to find the integration of the inside line of the legs and everything feels like it's hugging in. And take a few tries to figure out where your legs are in space in this position when you're upside down. It feels quite natural if you trust your instinct, like one leg bending, try to stroke on the inside as you touch the top. The other one starts going into the motion. Auch überlegt, ob das vielleicht sogar cool ist, wenn man das irgendwie macht, dann noch in Sideband. Ja, oder Stift. Ja, ja. Ich habe es noch nicht ausprobiert, deswegen. Ja, yeah, yeah, yeah. Nice. All the way up. Yeah. With the leg things, front and back and wherever, it always helps me to think not so compressed, but a little higher. And if I go up, I really use the resistance of the leg to push the back leg further back because otherwise I'm stuck so much in the front and it gets really heavy on the belly side. So if we think from the side, the leg goes to the front. As I'm drawing in, I'm already reaching with both legs slightly behind my back to be able to switch. Because otherwise, every time you go more into pike motion, and it's very heavy in the heel of your hand. See if that helps you to invite the back body to work a little more. Yes. So much better, Nadine. Really nice. Yes. Yeah. Nice. Yes, that's it, Sophia. Try to find the balance there with the legs together. Beautiful, Sophie. Okay. Let's try to have a little break, a little stretching break, and open the front. Come onto your hands with the fingers facing towards the body. Rotate your shoulder blades back and try to lift from the back of the shoulder blades the front. And 3 times bend and extend the arms. If you don't feel so much, you can bring the hips more front. It should be a little harder to extend the arms. Keep the neck nice and long. Then either with the fingers facing forwards or also out, try to push the hips up, feel the back of the body, lifting the front, maybe rocking forward and back if it's okay on your wrists. And let's come up to standing, give yourself a little forward fold, but making sure the hips are in one line over the feet. 3 pulses, elongating the spine, exhaling, going lower to the thighs. Okay, there's a last exercise in handstands today. I want to use the wall, unless you know you have this very solid by yourself. But I want to bring the head in so much that you can feel the back ribs going back. 2 palms distance away from the wall, I think is good. Then what I said earlier already, we're trying to find our straight body by bringing the shoulders away from the wall. Then you can do one leg at a time. Whoop. And trying to find um, the back body, but keeping the ribs back and leaning a bit into that scary part where the shoulders are activated in the back. But start with your chest. Move that away from the wall. And even if you don't let go of the feet of the feet at all from the wall, it should be a nice stretch for the front of the body. Yeah, just keep that hip nice, extend. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah. I always like to think if my heels are further back, that I first need to feel kind of that rubber band that we felt in the beginning where the ribs and hips pull slightly towards one another to lift up and be able to balance. If I don't have that connection, it's really hard to maintain the balance. Yes, nice, Nadine. Yeah, really nice open shoulders and hips. That looks really nice, Sophia. Nice hip extension. Very nice. Okay, again, let's do a little stretch. Having the palm facing up, rotating your body away from the wall, rotating the back of the shoulder down, lifting the chest up, wiggling from side to side. And we'll switch. Thumb facing up. Micro bend the elbow to create more lift in the collarbone and chest. Felt good, go from side to side. Now I think it's a little easier to do it in a tuck, but you are also welcome to do it in a pike if it feels good. I'll go a bit more into the stretch. So in your tuck, we want to work on bringing the hips back and away 3 to 5 times. You could also do it from the position we were just in and then trying to sit the hips back. That goes more towards pike. If you want that feeling a little stronger, you can move more than 2 palms away from the wall. But it's more to open really the front of the chest with your own body weight on top. They call this like a chest rock. Maybe that helps you to feel what I was talking about. All movement is initiated from the chest. Yeah, that looks really good. Either you stay in the final position a little longer, or it feels better to go in and out of it. Just depends what your shoulders like. Wiggle it out and then try one more. Try to stay for 3 breaths. Really nice. Okay, let's come to standing position. I tip the front and back. Then, as a conditioning exercise today, I'm going to show you first in standing because it makes a lot of sense in standing. If we have one leg lifted and we draw a circle with the leg around the side and to the front, we do want to maintain the standing leg facing forward and quite integrated. We don't want to like draw a circle that like swings us around, especially if we work with the wall. So try one on both sides. The leg you're standing on is really planted into the ground as I'm moving the leg circle. I have the connection to the core, so it's easy for me to stand on that one leg. On your hands, this would bring the shoulders into a twist, and we want to avoid that. So you find your belly to the wall in your L-shaped distance, and we'll draw the circle with the leg as low as you can maintain, the shoulders being in one place. Long out to the side. As you go to the side, think of drawing the leg into the belly. Let's do either one on each side or two, depending on how tired you are. But focus on the shoulders staying in the same place. If you don't have a wall, a table also works, but all of you have a wall. Just don't hurt your foot on something. Yeah. As big as circle. If it's too constricting in the hamstring, you can bend the leg a little bit as well. See if you feel the core connection as you draw the circle. And you can make this quite hard into like a pressing exercise, especially if you draw the circle to the side to pull in and even go towards your hand to really work the compression in your core instead of just doing the circle. It's too easy. There's always a harder option. You've all done both sides. Looks like it. Then let's stand up, bring the back of the hands under your armpits and let the elbows hang down. And at the same time, move your head in a half circle from right to left. And let's take the right hand to the opposite hip, fix it, and we look over to the other side, away from where you glue the hands to the hip. And then we switch the palms to the other hip. Lengthen and relax the shoulders at the same time. The head lifts long, the shoulders stay down. And both hands interlace behind. Bend the knees so you can easier go into like a half lift and then arms overhead, drop the chest 3 times. Use your exhale to drop, inhale to lift and lengthen. Last one. Straighten out the legs. Now we'll do slides right to left. One more on each side. Come back into a squat, but getting the arms behind the thighs and calves to give a little squeeze for the wrists. You can open and close the hands to let fresh blood come into your wrists. And then one more forward fold. Arms can either stay in the back or also in the front, whatever helps you to relax the shoulders more and loosening the back of the legs. Then hands down, right foot on the outside of your right hand. Then we take the right hand to the knee, and you can use the push of the arm to kind of give your upper body a twist with the back knee down. Think of bringing the sternum up. You can go in and out of it a couple times if you can get some cracks out of your spine. I'm not pushing the knee away, I'm drawing everything in and to the front. Then we just turn around to do the other side. Back knee can stay down, then you can use your exhale to twist. And then for the end, let's get one more straddle stretch. I would recommend to do a middle split, but if that feels too much, you're also welcome to just do a seated straddle. The feet are in one line with the hips, or a frog stretch would also be an option. Take 5 deep breaths. Feels good to rock very gently, front and back. You can. Nice idea. No matter where you are, roll back onto the hips. I'm going to wipe the knees one more time from right to left. To release the outer hips, get the left ankle on top of your right leg and just keep rocking the legs from side to side to release the outer hip. And then we switch. Right ankle on top. Rock gently right to left. And that's it for today. Thank you for your practice. Thank you for trying all the things I had in store today. Um, Sent me some cool flowy videos with your legs. You did amazing. Usually it takes so long to figure out these flows. Otherwise, I hope I see you next week. Thank you.
Thank
Nice to
you.
see you.
Thank you.
Thank
See you
you.
next
Bye.
week.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.